Good morning. I'm going to give a short report on the Belize campaign that we just did. We'll start by reading Matthew 28:18 through 20. And Jesus came and spoke to them, saying, All authority has been given to me in heaven and on earth. Go therefore, make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always. This was our 54th year to do a campaign in Belize. We missed 3 years because of COVID doing the campaigns. But even though we missed the 3 years of campaigns, there was only 1 year, and that was 2021, that we didn't get to travel there at all. In January of 2020, we were down there setting up the campaign that COVID shut down in March. In October of 2022, we went down. Jeff did a church leadership seminar. We invited all the ministers from all over the whole country, and it was well attended. It was a great week. This year our campaign was in Ladyville, which is about 15 miles north of Belize City. The minister is Brother Albert Longsworth. He's been preaching there for about 12 to 15 years. During the COVID shutdown, they continued their services on Zoom. Today, they're back in the church building at Ladyville Community Center. And they are still Zooming their services. The average attendance for them is about 50 to 60 people a week. Crooked Tree is a village about 21 miles north of Ladyville. They run a van from Crooked Tree to Ladyville for each service, bring 15 or 20 members. Currently, that van is broke down, so while we was there, I ran a van each service to Crooked Tree and brought them to the services. It's about a 30-minute drive one way just for the 21 miles. We arrived Friday, May 5th at the airport, where we were met by a couple of members from the Belize City Church of Christ. After getting the vans we had rented, we departed the airport, had lunch before going to the hotel. Saturday morning at 9 a.m., we meet at the church for a Devo, break up into our door knocking and study groups, and go out and start setting up Bible studies and door knocking. We door knock in the mornings and after lunch, then for dinner back at the hotel about 4:30, 5 o'clock. On Sunday morning, Frank Montgomery taught the Sunday school lesson, and Jeffrey did the preaching. There was 81 in attendance that morning. Our schedule continued Monday through Wednesday. Schedule was from 9 a.m. Devo at the church. Then we did door knocking and studies till around 11, lunch at one of the local restaurants. Then around 1 p.m., we went back out door knocking and doing studies, setting up studies until 4 p.m., 4:30. Then back to the hotel at 5 for dinner, and then back to the church for a gospel meeting that night. During the gospel meeting, Patrick Orman led the singing, and Brother Jeffrey did the preaching. Most days, there were members from the Belize City Church of Christ that came up and worked with us, door knocking and studying. And one night, they brought a van load up to worship with us. There was many studies conducted while we were there. Many were completed. Others wasn't. Due to people not being home, or sometimes if they was home, they would have excuses why they couldn't study with you then. We did chat back with them through the whole week. to do some of the studies. There was some at the end where there just was not time. Time ran out. We couldn't complete the studies. Brother Albert there is following up on these studies, and he will continue. It was a great week there. We baptized 5 from the studies. Each night, some of the new Christian brothers and sisters attended the services with us. This week I talked to Brother Albert, and those that we baptized have been attending the services. He is still following up and encouraging them on everything else that we did, the studies and all. And I've got some more slides. This is us arriving at the airport. Guy on the left is a brother from Belize City. He came up to the airport to meet us. Always good to see that. As we're at the airport, while we're renting the vans, everybody is kind of hanging out, getting used to the climate. Everything, we get the vans, we get loaded up. We go to lunch. Then we go to a couple of sites there that's on the coast, right where they bring the ships in to do our sightseeing. This is Brother Albert again with the church there in Ladyville. This is our group. We had invited David Diego and Richard Diego from Corazal to come down and work with us that week. They did. It was a good week with them. This is our morning Devo. We go in, we have our Devos, split up any studies that we got more studies than we could do at this time or whatever, make sure that they're all covered, and then we go outdoor knocking. And I've got some pictures of studies. This is one of the studies that was done. Here, they're standing out at the gate, knocking on the door, waiting to try to get someone to come, maybe do a study with. Here again is a couple of more studies. I mentioned I went to Crooked Tree. This is a Sunday morning I went up. There was probably about 20, there's 4 or 5 houses right here in this area where you get a van load of people there. Then on the way back to Ladyville, we made 2 other stops, picking up a lady and another lady and her daughter. This is the full van on the way back. It was 30 minutes of some good discussions. This is the Sunday morning service. Donna had a Sunday school class for all the kids that was there. Was well attended, and she had something for them to do each night of the service. This is a picture of the congregation and our group all together after service on Sunday morning. Here we had the five baptisms. The girl on the left is Charmaine Batin. The girl in the red shirt is Raquel Benavides. Then we baptized a husband and a wife while we were there, studied with them. Her name was Elena, and his name was Michael Savory. This young lady was baptized, and I don't remember her name. I have to apologize for that. But all in all, great week for baptisms. The night that the Belize City Church of Christ came up with us, got some pictures of them visiting with everyone before services. More studies, Frank in the top left doing a study there. Skip and the gentleman with him is Brother Bennett from Belize City, studying with the guy that's in the middle. More studies here. This is a study with Hugh and Oramel Foster. Was a good study. They was not baptized, but we planted the seed. He is about 100 years old and very, very active. Pictures here are 3 more studies that was conducted during the week. another study that was done. One of the brethren down there had this hat. I loved it. Fully rely on God. And that's what we do when we go on these campaigns and we work planting the word. These are the restaurants we ate lunch at. The top one, we ate more there because it was closer to where we was door knocking. The one on the bottom is a Friendship Restaurant. We ate there a couple of times, one the day we got there and one other day for lunch. So we love going to Belize, doing the campaigns. We've got a lot of friends there. This is all made possible by the contributions from the Mission Sunday contribution. You need everybody to think about next year. We do another campaign next year. We're planning it now. So be praying as to whether you would like to go and could go. Thank you.